have the whole thing done, as you can see right there, 100%, I'm about to show off some of the new cheat codes that we can now unlock. Of course, the menu is apparently the most laggiest thing in this game. Extra material. Now that we have all the points for everything, we can now purchase everything. I'll just cut it real quick. And now for the final one. There it is. Here's all the images, so I'm going to show them off one by one.
was all the concept art and my recipes. Now we have the codes. Heavy weapon is basically an infinite laser. Skateboarder allows Wally to do special skating tricks when he goes off ramps. Not like the jumping ramps, the ramps that are against the wall. Backpack, which is basically a squeezy toy. That's backpack, no matter what. I'm still checking out anyway. Incredible Jukebox is the button that activates incredible music and ratatouille music. That one. Soap bubbles makes Wally bubbles behind him. Intergalactic is a stardust that's behind him. Now for the codes. Start from the bottom. Bottom one. If I know all the codes, I just have to remember what order they go in. They go in a specific order. first cheat is Pot of War, which is kills or stuns any enemies that are within range of volley. The second cheat is Stealth Armor. Wally will always remain. Wally can always move undetected, noticed by any enemy, which is very helpful. Next one is Rainbow Laser, which will have Wally's laser beam switches from multiple colors, and aka rave colors, whatever you call it. Next code is Explosive World, which allows when all the cubes in the game explode. Like they still have the same effect, but just they blow up when you throw them. Next one is Glow in the Dark, which is the one I talked about earlier in one of the other episodes, which is Wally lights up dark areas without the need of LT. Second to last one is Bottom Mister, which is Wally wearing ski goggles, like the ones that were as an artifact. And then the last one Golden Tracks. Golden Tracks basically has all these treads are basically made out of gold bars. I will get to show these off. And the mini games too, I'll be doing those as well. I don't have a second player with me to play the game with me, so it's one player only. Each mini game is the ones that we've previously been over. I'm going to start with Motor Coaster because I freaking love this, and you probably know why. Second thieves are why. I will show off an example through levels. So as you can see, Wally's filled with crap on him. Wally has an alien fur bag, Wally has golden treads, and Wally has a ski mask. There's also Wally's rainbow is rainbow, and it's an infinite zone. So you can basically just have your laser on all the time, 24/7. We can't play the music because it's one of those rush levels, and Wally's mask like built into the wall, as you can see here. Wally looks like he just got back from Disneyland or something, and I failed that. Whoa, that's creepy. This looks really weird. The mini games are basically time trials if you want to see how fast you can go. I never remember what their name was, but they're called Motor Coasters. As you can see, Wally's graduated out of college with bars. You can actually have multiple players to play these games if you have other friends, but you can't do matches, which I don't know if you so there's special mini games that are especially designed for players. If you're able to use one keyboard, I guess if you had another controller, you could do this one. Kind of around with it. I'm screwed. Interruptions. I never get to minutes. And just like every other time I play these levels, regardless if it's a time trial or not, I still have this urge to break all the crates. Of course, you have the time timer going down, and timer going up. Let's see how fast you are in this game. Sure, I won it. It's a single player match. Here's a good example of the bubbles. this weird alien head backpack that looks kind of creepy. And you got the weird ski mask. And the laser goes right through while he dies. And here's the music. Also dry out the rest of the stuff in here. So, there's stuff more stuff. Also, I got rid of some of the stuff in there. Now for the skateboarder queen, what happens to on these ramps? Oh, 360! You know what? It takes a spin. Well, he could do an epic flip while bouncing off the ramps up the box. Honestly, I was hoping. Woo! 360 flip. Epic 360 flip, y'all. I always thought that was kind of clever. Wally actually looks really cool in those gold threads. Looking good, my boy! Pressing over to the right. Looking good, my boy! Oh, find me! So, the last is, as you can see right here, they do not see me, and if I go near them, they will all die. Watch this.
The axiom. The lesser
Great. On the force there. As you can see, I'm not getting detected by anything. Pretty OP, you can just drive on by and they will all die. Nothing will get in my way. However, it does not kill Mo, but it does keep him away. It's fine, you can just sit here. No, I just got up. Shut up. And when they do notice you, they just sit there just like, huh? And then, invisible force field! Okay. Now, as for my final thoughts for this game is pretty decent. The story, though, it's not really that. It's kind of. They changed a lot of aspects. A lot of people complained about it. Though, honestly, it really wasn't that big of a deal compared to how many people were complaining about it. It really wasn't that bad. I never understood why they complained about it. I mean, it's not like they're completely changing the entire story. Heck, it's not like it's not like it was Eve who was freaking dying or whatever. Instead, it was just different compared to everything else, which is the problem that apparently a lot of people hate. People just like, it's just like, I cannot talk today. It's just, it's different, and it's not following the exact movie's plot. That means it sucks. No, it doesn't. It doesn't have to follow the plot to be a bad game, which is apparently what a lot of people think. We don't need to always have games that have to be the exact same thing as everything else, regardless of what people may have seen. Though, there are things, yes, that are problems with the game, such as, yes, some of the game does have some bugs, lots of bugs occasionally. Some animations just seem really odd. I'm not even going to mention the weird reject bot thing I was talking about earlier. And, what was that other one? I'm doing this without a script, so if you may notice I'm not talking in right or just not speaking in the right way, just know that I'm not using a script for this. I'm going based off whatever I'm saying right now. I'm pulling things out of my booty. I'm just talking about this right on the spot. No script or anything. I don't need no script. Screw scripts. I learned from the best. I learned from you, Yuri of Wind. Now leave a link to his channel. The only problem I have mainly with the game was some of the controls. A good example is Eve's controls. The inverted controls, which is left and right, are really awkward. They can throw you off easily, and if you were to try to if you were to change out to revert those controls, it would just revert all of them entirely. It doesn't just revert left or right or up and down. It's all four different directions. That's all flipped. They could have changed it so it wouldn't do that, and said it was just a specific way. It was either up or down, which would have been a lot better. But no, they just decided to do like, people can get used to it. Also, the other thing people complain about is apparently it's the whole, I'm having trouble thinking right now. People complain that the main problem that apparently people are complaining about is the controls. Yes, they cannot be good at times, but that doesn't mean that it's hard to play. If you get used to it over time, you just gotta keep practicing it. Like for me, each controls are really awkward to play as. With a mouse, yes, definitely with a mouse, it still is, but if you use a controller like I've been using this entire time, the game is a lot easier compared to the keyboard, and I used to be really good at the keyboard, but now I'm kind of off a bit, but my recommendation for when it comes to playing this game is don't use the keyboard unless you do something different for Eve's controls, because they're terrible, but Eve but use the controllers instead. They're a lot better. More specifically, I think you can only use a 360 or one controller for this game. I don't think anything else would work, not even a Steam controller. That is if you're running this game off of Steam, which I wasn't aware was even on Steam. The game is really fun, though. It does prove good challenges, and yes, there are difficult levels. The main difficult level I'm talking about is the very first level you do on the accident, which is East Pursuit. I hate that level to death. Never going back and playing that. Yeah, that bothered me is how it was the very first level of the accident, yet it was so freaking challenging. And I never really understood why it had to be so challenging. Like, we're introduced into a new environment. Why do you have to make it so challenging? But, Wally's gameplay. Pretty good, actually. It's not as bad as people thought. Not as bad as I originally thought when I did first play the game. And it's still not as bad as I thought, as I remember. Now, because I haven't played this game in, like, years. I haven't played this game since I was, like, 7. And that's, like... That's, like, 9 years. I was thinking, sorry, guys. It's only a 9-year gap between the last time I played this game, but I just started playing this when when I'm doing this LP, so... And the controls aren't as bad as I originally thought. I don't remember why, but I always thought that the controls were really awkward and terrible. They kind of are on a keyboard, yes, but on a controller, not so much. Graphic-wise, actually, the graphics are pretty decent. If you guys want to play this game and you're not sure if you should or not, I do highly recommend getting this game. It's not that much on Steam. I have no idea what the other prices are other places, or even for the disc, because I don't remember. But these levels are fun. The main levels that I seem to enjoy the most, and I think a lot of people would too. Some people could say otherwise, yes. Would be the motor coaster ones. It's a race against the clock. But you also, at the same time, if you're going for 100% and you're trying to get the cubes, they can be annoying to get at times, but it makes you want to constantly redo the level and get irritated. But you're learning from what to do, and whatever mistakes you made, you'll learn from them and can try to make a strategy on how to get each crate in particular. Though the fact that some of them can be hard to get, and some of them are pretty hard to find too. That's the one thing that I would highly recommend using a guide for sometimes, because, like, I didn't use a guide for this, I was going based off memory. And, remember, I'm not using a script for this, so, and, oh my god, my dog stinks, you need a bath. I completely got off topic and forgot what I was gonna say. Well, I completely lost my train of thought and forgot what I was talking about. I are smart. This sounds like Ensley now that I think about it. Enjoy like 5 minutes of silence while I think. Try to regain my thought. No. I don't know what else to review about for the game. Soundtrack, oh, I can think of one. Soundtrack is really, really good. Me personally, I think that the soundtrack for this game, yes, yell at me all you want, I personally do think the soundtrack is actually better than the movies. Though, while I still like most of the soundtrack for the movie, I feel like that the soundtrack for the game takes the cake. There's just so many songs that are just go really well with the levels and the environment. Especially the final level, or the second to last level, which was the Hall Detector Dash. That song kicks so many levels. It's awesome. No, that's just my personal opinion, though. The puzzles for the doors, they're not that bad. Except for this puzzle. I hate this puzzle. These puzzles actually can be challenging. They do get challenging over time, and they move so fast that you can eventually forget and lose track and screw up. But, you learn from it, and the more that you focus, the more, like I'm trying to multitask with this.
And there I go again. Yep. See, this is what I hated about the one minigame for this was and this one minigame was not really seemed to be the hardest one out of everything else because of the fact of it moves so fast and so quick that you barely have time to react, and because they make you do like many times for the final round, that's how you can easily forget. And I finally got that. Yay. The mechanics. Oh god. The reject bot mechanics. I feel like they could have used more of the reject bots. I mean, pretty. I can see why they wouldn't let you use pretty or paint, because I don't see what point it would be. I guess pretty, you could just use a disguise, get through stuff or something. I don't know. And paint, I don't know, paint you, I guess. What they should have done was this. If this was more of an expensive game, they could have used they could have like a shop thing that would allow you to have paint change your color and appearance, kind of like what the Cars game did. You could change your color and appearance and their tires and stuff. Yeah, that's what paint could have done, and then pretty could have just like added cool little detail to your body, like I don't know, like face painting or something. Or added, like, cool little tattoos. Because if they would have done that, it would have made the gameplay a little bit different. And, well, gameplay different now. But, it would make more use for the characters. Instead of just having them be have just, like, no role at all. And I mean, like, at all. None. The captain, some of the story, though, and some of the roles for other characters. The captain's role, kind of upset me how minor it kind of was. And Otto's, too. I mean, he's supposed to be the main villain, he didn't really have that big of a role. And Gopher's, well, Gopher's is self-explanatory. The stewards, oh god. The stewards are pretty annoying when it comes to finding them, or fighting them. Very, very annoying. Though, once you know tricks that you can do, which is, there's tricks that you can do to avoid every taser they give you. Like I've shown it off. You basically, that sheet that you need to be invincible. It's kind of pointless when you get down with the way you can survive against the stewards. It really is. So my final thing to say for this is that this is actually a good game. It is truly a masterpiece as far as I like to consider. Very fun, and the story uses a lot of it uses most of the original concept for WALL-E, which is some of the deleted scenes, like I've said before. The trash shooting scene, there was a deleted scene where instead of Wally getting electrocuted and weakened in damage in the movie, it was originally going to be Eve who takes his place. The roles would be reversed. They did the same thing for here. They had the scene where it was, instead of going out to space, they would simply go back inside after being picked up and not dance around. That's what this game did. And there's another deleted scene, but I'm forgetting what it was about. What was the last scene about? I forgot. It runs most off of the original concept of the movie compared to the. Whoa! I survived that. I've run out of stuff to talk about. So, hi. All right. So, I wanted to just give a few shout outs to one person who really inspired me to go back to this game and actually play it again and do an LP of it, which is in Maria. Shout out to her for making me inspired to do this game again. I freaking loved this game back when I was a kid, and I still love it to this day. I completely forgotten about it until I saw an LP of her playing the game. the thing I do want to make a mention though, when it comes to 100%, this is the one thing I want to talk about real quick, which is how to get the 100% and challenges for the game real quick. A lot of people seem to fail to get 100% for this. From what I've noticed, it appears to be the crate problem, that or the difficulty. Yes, difficulty is pretty good and pretty high. However, that doesn't seem to be the problem. It's more or less the crates. A lot of people seem to miss the crates and just either that or crash into them thinking them they're obstacles, which they're not. If you can bust through them, you can get 100% of them, as long as you know where all of them are at. So, now that that's out of the way, this has been the final episode of our LP. I will see you guys in the next LP, whatever I decide to do. I don't even know what to do the next LP on. I guess I plan to do an LP of Luigi's Mansion or Paper Mario as soon as I get a capture card for it, which shouldn't be far from now because I am close to getting a capture card for it. So there's a plus. But I guess before anyone asks, no, I will not be doing any more Five Nights at Freddy's or fan games of it because I am sick of the games. So don't ask for any because I'm not going to do any. If you have any recommendations that I could do, please let me know. I can't do, like, very expensive games, especially the shootout games. I'm not doing those. No Minecraft. Like, simple games. There's another game I could plan to do another game while I am getting the capture card. I won't spoil what it is, but just note that it's a very good game series. It just bothers me how it's not really well known. But with that, this thus ends our the final episode of our LP of Wally. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video and in the next LP. Awesome!